Did you get invited to a party coming up soon? Holiday parties are coming up, Halloween parties, lots of party opportunities. They can bring up anxiety in our hearts and minds when we're on a food plan or we're on a diet and we're making progress. We think, this is going so well, but what about this party? What do I do? I just got invited to dinner last night and I had to think about, what am I going to do? I'm following a plan. What's my plan going to be at this dinner? Life happens. We get invited to fun things. We want to have fun. We want to indulge. We want to enjoy highly unusual foods and opportunities for foods that are not part of our normal routine. So what do? Well, you have lots of options. And I encourage you to think about it as the event or the party or the meal is typically not about the food. It's about the collection of humans, some special occasion. So remember, number one, you're not at the birthday party for the food. You're at the birthday party to celebrate the person whose birthday it is. So just going in beforehand, thinking about, how do I want to celebrate this person? What do I want to say to this person? Who am I going to see? This event is not about food, the cake. It's about the person's birthday. So really to say, number one, this is not about the food. And number two, there's going to be food there. What am I going to do? So a couple of different schools of thought, and you need to pick one that works for you. You need to make a plan and you need to be sure that you can execute the plan. There's no point in having a plan if when you walk in, you go out with the plan. Let's go. So think ahead. What's going to be served for food? If you can find out ahead of time, you can plan what you're going to choose. I always recommend one thing. Think about what's going to be there, find out what's going to be there, and if there's anything that's going to be there that you can have any other time, don't have it at the party. You have a certain number of calories or a certain amount of room in your stomach to enjoy foods at this event or party. Why would you eat something you could have any other time? You know, if you get there and the first appetizer is a tray of olives. I mean, that's lovely, but can you have olives any other time? Probably. If there is a cheese platter, I mean, if it's exotic cheeses or cheeses you don't normally have, it's just like cubes of cheddar and like some ham or whatever. That's foods that you can usually have any other time. Now, if all the food is ordinary food, okay, that's different. But if you're at a party and there's a centerpiece that is like really amazing seafood or shrimp or some kind of a dish or something being served that is not something you normally get, that's where you should focus your calorie use. It's kind of like having $100 bill and going to a store and there's a whole bunch of things that you can get any old time, but there's a few things there that are only available today and tomorrow. You want to spend on those things and like get the other things another time. So that's how you want to think about going into that event. Have the things that are rare and special and the other things save for another time. Now, as far as managing how much to eat, there's several options. You can set up some rules ahead of time. So you could say, I'm going to have one plate of food. So I'm going to get a plate and I'm going to have one plate. Everything that I eat must be on that one plate all at one time before I start eating, and that is my meal. If you're food logging, you're going to log that food to the best of your ability. Sometimes it's really hard to know, but you're going to attempt to log it the best that you can afterwards. So that's one way to do it. Another way to do it is to say, I'm going to eat before I go and I'm going to have a tiny little portion of two things, or I'm only going to have dessert. So you can go into the party saying, I'm going to eat my healthy dinner. I know there's going to be an amazing donut table, or the cake is going to be from one of the most famous bakeries ever. I don't care about anything else but that cake. All right, I'm going to have my healthy dinner and I'm going to go and I'm going to have the cake. So make a plan. What's important to you? What's novel about the event? And how do you think that you can honestly show up? If you get there and you already know you're not going to be able to stick to a plan, then you need to have a plan that's looser. To say, sometimes if your event is in the evening, to fast during the day or only have green vegetables and water, you get to that party and you're able to use all of your calories at that party. That works for some people. If that works for you, do it. If that doesn't work for you, don't do that. I personally can't do that. I would rather go into a party not super hungry and select a few things and then be done than to go in starving and then overeat and overindulge and feel like I'm finally eating for the day. So you have to really just decide what's important to you, what works for you, what is novel about the occasion, why are you gathering in the first place, and then create a plan and stick to it. Overall, know that one event does not determine success or failure on a diet forever, that if you overeat a little bit, you can completely get right back on track the next day, the next meal. You don't have to say, well, I ate too much or I don't know what I ate, so the whole weekend I may as well eat whatever I want. We don't want to do that. We want to contain the event to the event. That's another little extra sidebar. Don't bring leftovers home. If that cake is amazing and you get it once a year, have your cake and leave. The experience is done. You can enjoy the experience. You don't need to bring that experience home and have it over and over again. Try to keep everything contained in that one party or event container. And you're going to feel a whole lot better about going, enjoying yourself, and then walking away, having enjoyed the event and enjoying the memory of the event too.